it's Opie here for another review video. I was just putting the rubbish out and cleaning the garage, and as I was doing that I was listening to an old business classic, Rich Dad Poor Dad, which you may have heard of. It was actually the summary of it, not the full version. This was like the condensed version of 30 minutes or so. Obviously I've read the book and gone through the audio several times over the years. Great book if you haven't read it or heard the audio version. But what I did want to mention to you guys today was the tool or the app that I was actually using to listen to this. It's an app called Scribd, and I only came across this literally 2 weeks ago, and it was a family member who recommended it, and he's into sort of self-education and improvement and development like I am, and we always sort of compare notes on what we've read, what we've heard, any podcasts or techniques we've learned, all of that jazz. And he recommended this app, and I'm like, oh, okay. I wasn't too interested. The reason being, I mean, there's so many apps out there, but just so I don't forget, I ended up just downloading it and installing it on the spot. And the following week I started listening to it, and the reason why I wasn't too interested initially was because I've already got Audible, and Audible, as you know, is a subsidiary of Amazon, and they charge I think they're about $16.95 in Australia. I'm not sure what it is in the US, but anywhere between $14 to $22, I think. It ranges depending on how many books you get, and it's a monthly subscription just like Netflix. But what you do is you end up downloading an audiobook, professionally recorded audiobook, which you own. Okay, and I use that service every day almost. It's great, hence the reason I was hesitant to sort of try another app. Anyway, I downloaded it, flicking through it, and I started going through a few audiobooks, and all of a sudden it occurred to me what was actually happening. What was happening was Scribd is actually a service very similar to Netflix, in the sense that you don't own the audiobook that you're listening to, or the PDF that you're reading, or the magazine that you're reading, or a whole bunch of other stuff that's in there. So it's a digital library that you can stream. So that's what makes it so unique, in the sense that you don't own the content. All you're doing is streaming the content, just like you would with Netflix. Once you're done with it, you can watch one episode of a TV series and move on to the next one, or you can watch the entire TV series if you like it. Similar thing. There was several books I listened to a chapter and I said, not really my thing. Basically just moved on to the next one, right? And I did that with several, and that's when the light bulb went off for me. That's the right phrase, in saying that I can sort of browse and actually go through as many books as I want. I can listen to as many as I want. If I don't like it, I can stop halfway and just move on. The only downfall is I don't own the content, unlike with Audible. So Audible, you get one credit, anywhere between $15 to $20, somewhere around there. You basically bind the book. You bought the book, you don't like the book, tough luck, you're stuck with it. There is the odd occasion, if you really hate it, I think they do have a money back guarantee. I haven't sort of looked into that in great detail, but more or less you're stuck with the book. You've decided to purchase it because they give you a 5-minute sample of that you can listen to. But overall, if you listen to a couple of chapters and you don't like the book, as I said, there might be a clause in there that you can actually get your money back, but generally speaking, you're stuck with the book, okay? Because if you start doing that for every third book, they're gonna sort of put a red flag on your account. But with Scribd, it's not like that. So I think they do have a free sort of subscription available, and I sort of was going through that, and it was good. I'm not sure why I ended up upgrading to the premium. I think I wanted to listen to check out a lot more content, so I did, and it's been awesome. It's been really, really good. So the good thing is, I think by default they give you 30 days If you use one of my links down below this video, you'll get 60 days, so double the amount. And I recommend it to the sense that it is truly a digital library out there that's got a whole bunch of content, all the way from audio books to PDFs, just like a Kindle, music sheets, documents, magazines, a whole bunch of other stuff that I haven't even actually checked out. So I do recommend that you look at it and really try it out. Again, it's free to try out. Actually, you know what I might do? I might actually show you on my app here right now. So let me turn my camera off and I'll show you what it is on the inside. Give me a second. Alright guys, so I'm on my phone now. So as you can see, this is sort of my entertainment folder, if you will. I've got Netflix, as you can see, and a couple of other podcast applications. So Netflix I don't use too much these days. I've obviously got Audible, which is Amazon's version of what I'm talking about. So the difference between Amazon and Scribd is Amazon, you download the book and the book is yours to keep, whereas Scribd, you stream it, very similar to Netflix. And NPR News, which I've just clicked on, is basically it's pretty cool. So on that, I as you know, I avoid the news like a plague, but what I do listen to is a section called Planet Money, which is basically they take an economic podcast and they talk about that for 10-15 minutes, so an economic topic. And Google is the one that I've just clicked on, and that's Google's podcast one. And lastly, Scribd. So I'll go into that, and this is just the book that I was actually listening to before. It's a great book. This is just a summary of it, and it's asking me, as soon as I try and exit, do I want to save it for later, or do I not want to save it at all? So I've decided to save it. And going back to the main app, I guess you can, as you can see, this is the overview one. It's segmented into sort of topics and themes, genres, if you will. So a wide selection there, as you can see. So this is the overview one, and then up on the top, I don't know if you can see that, is audiobooks. So this is just audiobooks section. Okay, so on the overview one, it was everything. Now this is just audiobooks. Okay, next we've just got books. So some of these are summarized books, or the actual full length of a book. So it's like you're reading a Kindle. Okay, the next section, actually I'll quickly show you one of these books that I was, excuse the WhatsApp notification. So as you can see, it's just like reading a normal book. Okay, you can sort of scroll back and forth, no issues. And the next section is magazine. So I haven't actually checked out this section, to be honest, but it's like, you've got a subscription to Entrepreneur Magazine and you want to check it out, click into it just like you would with a normal book. But again, the difference here is you don't own the magazine. All you're doing is viewing the content, if you will. Or in the case of an audiobook, what are you doing? You're just streaming the content just like you would with Netflix or any other streaming company. So there's another section which I didn't even know existed, to be honest, until today. It's called documents. It's got a wide range of documents. Here's an interesting one. Actually, I'm writing a business case at the moment, so this might actually help. So this is just going through business proposal, and it's just a document. So if you want to check it out, you can. Scroll a little bit more. So it's so you can read it, you can zoom into it. And I'm gonna get out of that one, save. And the lastly is music sheets. Again, haven't used this section yet. Though I am a DJ, I'm not a musician as such. So you can try it out yourselves. If I can just search for a name, so you may have heard of Tony Robbins. Search for everything. So as you can see on the top, I've searched for everything, which is books, audiobooks, and so forth. Scroll down and you can see the books that he's written, and they might be able to see some audiobooks as well. Maybe there should be. Scroll back up. Maybe it's under Anthony Robbins. Anyway, it's not there. Oh, there it is. Unshakable and Money down on the very down at the bottom. Yeah, both of those are pretty good. I have read both of them. One's the like the condensed version or the better version. Can't remember which one it is. I think it's Money. I can't remember. It's essentially the same content in both of them, I think. He, for some reason, decided to write another book, give it a different name. But that's essentially it, guys. So the app itself, like I said, it's got a whole bunch of content that you can actually go through. I've been using it like crazy. The simple reason being, I think I've explained this before, the fact that you can actually listen to a couple of chapters and go, nah, don't like it, I'm going to actually get out of it and start listening to another one. Same thing, you listen to a couple of chapters and you can sort of get out of it. So I might actually wrap up there, and thank you very much for listening. If you want to, you can actually click the link below and get yourself a copy. Thanks.